What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And you know, this particular topic has been trending on Twitter like all weekend long, right? Talking about Mary Sue's, okay? And I thought it was going to die out, okay? I thought it was going to be over. I thought that people were going to kind of understand this guy's argument, and I'm going to get to the Twitter thread that it's talking about. But nobody did. You know, apparently nobody understands the very simple thing that this guy is trying to point out. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So this is on TMZ.com. Mary Sue Twitter thread sparks debate on unlikable female leads. Now, everybody knows what a Mary Sue is. And if you don't know, this guy right here, whose name is Joshua Lysick, basically, he kind of explains it to you on this little Twitter post. So let's go ahead and pull it up. All right, and so he says, Ray, Galadriel, Captain Marvel, Bo Peep. Why are modern female heroes so unlikable? And what does that mean for us professional writers? It all starts with Mary Sue. Okay, so he goes into it and he actually has a Mary Sue checklist. So let's go ahead and click on that. And let's kind of check out what exactly is a Mary Sue according to Josh Lysick. Now, he's going over Star Wars characters. You can see there's Luke, there's Anakin, and there's Rey. All right. And here's his checklist. All right. Overpowered, unexplained power level, perfectly good, no personality, instantly liked, feels like wish fulfillment. Absolutely. Like, this is the big one right here. Like, if you can imagine a character, right, where everything, like all of their wishes come true, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation just came in and just said, hey, what do you want? You got it, okay? And they get everything perfectly laid out before them with no problems whatsoever, okay? That's basically what he's talking about there. And then, of course, not embarrassed or doesn't fail. Basically, that's your classic Mary. So here's the checks that he says. Luke checks these two, right? He's perfectly good and he has no personality. All right, so that's his opinion on that. I think Luke kind of has a personality, but that's neither here nor there. Then we get to Anakin. Anakin is absolutely overpowered, okay? Most midichlorians in world history or whatever in Star Wars lore. And then kind of instantly liked, I guess you could say, in The Phantom Menace, he was liked. But then as time goes on, he became more unlikable and started doing some despicable things, right? But then you get to Rey, right? And then Rey, she checks every single one of these boxes, man. Completely overpowered, has an unexplained power level, perfectly good, no personality at all, instantly liked by everybody. You remember Finn in The Force Awakens just falling all over himself trying to talk to her, right? And Han Solo, oh, you're something special about you. I can tell you just got it there, okay, girl? You know, like that kind of stuff, right? And then feels like wish fulfillment, absolutely, like she's having everything go her way. And then, of course, she never gets embarrassed and she doesn't fail. I always wondered, like, in Star Wars, like, why didn't they cut off one of her limbs, right? Like, you notice, like, Luke and Anakin, like, they got arms and hands chopped off. What about Rey? I think that would have at least, you know, given her something, but they never did that because I guess you can't do that to female characters. Nevertheless, that's your checklist for Mary Sue's. And he actually goes on to describe, like, what isn't a Mary Sue and what is a good female character, right? He talks about Princess Leia, says, consider a well-written heroine mentioned earlier. Princess Leia holds the moral high ground while menacing Darth Vader towers over her. She'll do anything to protect her people, and yet she falls for the bad boy even though she knows she shouldn't. That's a real woman. How do we know Princess Leia is a good, strong female lead? Recall when Grand Moff Tarkin makes her watch as her planet is smithereened out of existence. She is the maiden in distress, tortured by machinations of an evildoer, but she doesn't give up. The end of her planet and her people doesn't crush her. No, she grows stronger from her pain and goes on to lead the rebels to victory. Understand this, a feminist character from the 1970s does more to celebrate the heroic feminine than female protagonists written today. Yeah, like everything in like female writing is absolutely gone completely backward. And that's basically what this guy is trying to get people to understand. It's like, you guys are doing it wrong, okay? You're going backwards, not forwards. So it says here, and this is back to the article, the literary Mary Sue archetype is alive and thriving in modern day entertainment, despite the fact people aren't really into these strong fictional heroines who kick ass out of nowhere, okay? And then he says, his words, not ours, talking about the post. It says, essentially, this boils down to characters like Rey, Galadriel, Carol Danvers, and even Bo Peep in Toy Story, and others who start out in a new plot as bad to the bone despite a lack of training and backstory to explain how they came to be so strong. So it says, Lysick's thread has gone viral with a ton of backlash coming his way for what a lot of people claim is a convoluted and long-winded way to say he simply doesn't like women. Isn't that always the argument? You know, like you try to present like a very careful argument. You lay out your information and your points, okay? And you use examples and you're coming at it in a really academic kind of way. You know, here, let me explain to you exactly what I'm trying to say, okay? Does that ever work on the internet? Okay, I don't know if Joshua Lysick is new to the internet, but that don't work on the internet, Josh. Okay, you can't have calm, rational debates with people on the internet. That don't go down like that. And can't stand the idea of a female character being anything other than a damsel in distress. And then, of course, there are others poking holes in the theory. So let's go ahead and just check out what kind of holes people are trying to poke in. Because he also goes in and talks about Elwyn, right? We want and need female heroes women can aspire to be and that audiences of all ages can enjoy. We need more heroines like Elwyn. All right. She's torn between the devotion to her family and the duty she feels for her people. She's courageous and fights with what strength she does have. She can't fisticuff like Legolas or Aragorn, but she does what she can with honor. She's a real woman and we love her for it. All right. So that's his arguments. He's giving you like details about these particular characters, right? And now I'm not going to read through this whole thread, okay, because it's pretty damn long. You guys can go ahead and check it out. I'll link it in the description below if you want to see it directly. But here's the first comment. So, of course, first comment right out the bat by a woman. At this point, threads like this just make me sad because it reveals to me that men don't see women as people and only see them as valid when they are written to please them. This is incredibly biased and shows deeper issues. Y'all self-report all the time. Like, the dude just laid out his argument in 30 posts. I'm guaranteeing you guys again, this person here, this Shaylee, she didn't bother to read the post at all, okay? She saw that first top, Mary Sue, with the pictures, and she jumped straight to type her reply up real quick. Okay? That's all she did. She ain't never read this post. I guarantee you she didn't read this post. And if she says so, she's lying. This person, tired but present. You can tweet all of this genuinely believing it to be true, and other men will agree. That is truly pathetic. None of you will ever have a fulfilling relationship with a woman if you never even come close to understanding that they are people. Like, holy crap. Like I said, they didn't bother. They didn't even take 1 second to look at any part of that thread, okay? Not a single one, all right? But here's the question, okay? We know Mary Sues are a legitimate thing. Everybody knows that. What do you do about it? That's the bigger question, okay? How do you solve the Mary Sue problem? The way that they're laying it out. And I think one of the ways that at least I would try to approach it is, okay, Mary Sue is basically nothing but a crutch. Because think about it, like not only is a Mary Sue like overly powered, like suspiciously overly powered, loved by everybody, okay, with absolutely no flaws to speak of, okay? But they usually seem to be extremely narcissistic as hell, right? Like, am I right? Okay? That's kind of the character flaw that you can use when you're talking about, hey, I got a Mary Sue character. What you need to really do at that point is say, okay, we got to find all kind of different ways to absolutely humble this character, knock him down several pegs, not just a couple of pegs, but knock him down all the way down, break him down, okay? You want this person that thinks that they are hot shit to just leave completely and utterly broken, okay? So that they can kind of learn some humility, you know? I mean, that's one way you could try to maybe fix this Mary Sue character. But I think the main crux of it is, you know, don't use the characters at all because those are boring characters to start with. A character should start in one place and through the course of the story end up in a better place, end up as a better character, right? A changed person, all right? But Mary Sue's, they always start off as these powerful characters and they kind of end as these powerful characters. There's like flat growth, right? And really the purpose of that is to say that this person is perfect and the world around them needs to change. That's what they really want to do. These people that write these boring ass characters, they're just trying to make you say, hey, I'm perfect and you need to change. That's basically what it is. It's preaching, okay? It's preaching directly to the audience instead of actually trying to say, you know what? Yeah. The audience, see yourself through the eyes of this character that has all of these flaws and learn how to change yourself. If there's any time that there's a lesson to be learned, you should always have it learned through the eyes of the main character. That's an interesting character, okay? They started out one way. They had all kind of flaws and issues and problems in their own personal lives. They weren't perfect, okay? Kind of like how Luke Skywalker started out in that sense, okay? He had all of these problems. He had all of these flaws. He had a lot to learn, okay? But through the process of him going through what he went through, he comes out at the end, a Jedi Knight, a Jedi Master, a better person overall, okay? We saw his trials, his tribulations. We saw everything he went through and how he overcame all of that, all right? And that's what we get as inspirations for the audience, okay? The audience gets inspiration like, wow, I see how Luke went through all of the stuff that he went through. I see now there's flaws in my life that I might need to work on, and I will go out and get to work on that stuff, and I will be inspired by the lesson of this particular film, okay? And it's always layered in the subtext. It's not something that's on the nose that they're trying to preach to you. It's layered in the subtext, but you get it, okay? You get that from the film. Not, I'm a perfect character and everyone around me needs to change. You guys are the ones that need to figure it out. I got it under control, okay? That's what you get when you have a character like Rey or Galadriel or Bo Peep. Those type of characters, they are the perfect ones, and you guys need to figure out what's wrong with you, okay? It wasn't Carol Danvers that needed to change. She just needed to realize how great she was. And once she realizes how great she is, everybody else just has to kind of fall down and bow down to her greatness. You know what I mean? Like, that's a boring character that's just preaching to you, saying that you're the one that's wrong. You need to change. And to me and to audiences all over the world, that's boring. And that's why this particular character fails on its face. And I liked his response here. I can tell you are right because you use strategic all caps. The real question is, why do you find strong, interesting female characters unlikable? It's like that. Again, these people never once read this entire thread, but I suggest that you go do it. But folks, go ahead and get in the comments. Let me know what you think about this situation. Mary Sue's, are they going to go anywhere? Is anybody ever going to learn the lessons, okay? Are these women and the writers that are writing this crap, are they ever going to sit down and actually have a legitimate argument to say, hey, this is why these characters suck? And this is how you can fix it. Go ahead, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. See you next time.